here at the beginning of this one already. I don't think they're at optimum performance. However, they are taking us to one of their better maps. We're heading to Battlefield of Eternity.
All right, here we go. And that, ladies and gentlemen, if you see the SPT logo next to the map symbol, you know it's their choice. And you know what Melody C likes to do here on this map.
He does. He likes to grab up that Genji and then run straight to post base, as we saw earlier on in the series. Just he likes to do it right at the start of the game.
Yeah. All right. So let's see what they can do here. You know, Battlefield is always one of those maps in which I think Alex Strasser traditionally doesn't see that much play, simply because it's usually very easy to just run away and disengage and wait for the Dragon Queen to expire without losing much of the objective. Whereas on the Punisher side of things, on Infernal Shrines, if you just run away, the enemies are usually going to be fast enough to get a significant skeleton lead, and they're going to grab it. So would surprise me if we saw an Alex Strasser being picked very early on, and I think this is a perfect map for Deckard, man. Long drawn-out battles around the Immortals. You have good CC available as well, but China doesn't like him.
Yeah, but for now, with Tracer gone, like you said, Hanzo is going to be just one of the best racers. Greymane,
Yes.
like the traditional racers. Hanzo, Greymane, Li Ming, and I feel like I'm missing someone. Lunara.
Greymane.
Yeah. I think I said Greymane.
Yeah, Vala. Lunara's great, actually. Like, ever since...
that's the one.
Yeah. Like, ever since Lunara received her rework, and she now has access to the Nature's Culling at level 4, dealing extra damage to PvE targets, she's a mighty fine hero.
Hape back on the way of the blade, bringing out the Genji once again. Probably going to be Hape. Who knows? Maybe they roll swap a bit. But stealing that away from SPT, always a wise move.
Absolutely true. So... the Maiev no longer in the mix. Hape looked absolutely stellar in that Genji. No surprise he's going to play it again. Should be an early lock-in for Hanzo. First of all, you have Battlefield of Eternity. Secondly, you have Lucky, one of the best Hanzos in China. So that should be a no-brainer.
And SPT taking their time here. Solo lane is also especially important here. Sonya is a pretty good race tool. This is the one map we will, on the very odd occasions, see Artanis. Otherwise, Malthael, percentage damage does work on the Immortal, but it is capped at a certain amount they do not have on hand.
Right. So there goes the Hanzo, there goes the Dibbles. Misaka did...
Dibbles for the second time.
Yeah. Misaka did struggle a little bit in that last game, but mostly when he ended up dying, at least he made sure that it was for a good reason and for a good purpose, and his teammates usually were able to clean up house. But yeah, if you know, it's weird to say this. Misaka being the shot caller, the drafter, the backbone of the team, but when he struggles, SPT looks beatable and shaky.
This is true. So it is peculiar to see him struggle at all, really, and also peculiar to see him prioritizing Diablo so much. But it's a good hero, especially on this map. You can get some pretty good value. So, because there's walls everywhere. With KT, Genji already on the board. Support's not really picked for either team. Malfurion has not been picked in the first rotation. That is quite surprising. So they should pick it now, probably. They're against Diablo, so maybe not. Their choice.
Hey, there we go. We talked about the old man, and finally he's found his way to China.
But why, though? They're running into Diablo. They have two heroes who potentially would like to go very far forward, where Deckard cannot follow. I don't understand.
I'm gonna say I like it. I'm gonna say I like it here. I think, you know, Deckard, first of all, is a wonderful sustained support. So as long as you don't fully commit and get engaged on, you should be fine. I also think that his CC is very useful against heroes like Diablo. You know, if you land the slow in the roots, you interrupt his shadow charge, you can actually peel very well for your allies in the back. And it's not like, you know, with the exception of Deckard, who should never really get close to Diablos anyways. I think they have a pretty mobile team, like Genji being able to dodge it. Phoenix should be able to get out of harm's way with a good teleport. So I like it. And Deckard also, I think, is not as squishy as many people think he is because of the trade, right? He has natural 10 armor. He can get it up to 20.
It's not about squishy. It's about the fact that he cannot protect the squishies.
I see what you're saying. Like, especially mobile characters like Genji, right? Sometimes they're just too far away from the potions.
Yeah. And even so, the potions have a delay in coming out. It's not as much healing as someone like an Uther could offer. Maybe even a Stukov or a Rhaegar. Even a Karazi, I would say, in terms of AoE burst healing, might be a bit more efficient. But like you said, the CC can be incredibly effective. And of course, the very classic setup of Sleepy Time into Purification Salvo.
Yeah.
As I like to call it, the Rude Awakening, could be very scary.
Absolutely true. Now, what they're kind of lacking, KT, that is additional slows, right, to guarantee the burst damage of the Purification Salvo to actually kick in as well. Now, they're probably going to go for... they're probably not going to go for another ranged assassin, so Jaina is kind of out of question here. There are a couple of warriors that provide plenty of slowing. Muradin, Arthas, just to mention two.
Yeah. With Alex Straza coming in once again. We haven't seen Arthas in ages. You've reminded me he exists. But yeah, Alex Straza coming in and Blaze. This is not a race composition for SPT.
No.
This is a delay the opponents while Hanzo wins composition.
Very true, very true. They, of course, still have to pick another assassin. There's still Lunara up for grabs, which I wouldn't hate too much. But you're definitely right. It's more like a pokey composition. And when they find a good opening, they're definitely going to make sure to use it with the Diablo and the Blaze follow-ups done. But what is KT going to pick now? They need a front line. They need someone to peel and protect. To be honest, I wouldn't hate an Arthas. Muradin is fine too.
Muradin is the safe choice, and solo laner is Thrall. So, very sensible.
Yes.
To 3 heroes who can self-sustain themselves. Phoenix can juggle his shield, Muradin can self-heal. Thrall, of course, has Frostwolf resilience. The idea here is to take a little bit of the effort off of Decade for those burst protections and just try and juggle your damage, because everyone has a way to try and sustain themselves through it except Genji, but he can block damage initially as is.
Now, unless Timeless doesn't do Timeless things and go for a Haymaker Muradin, I think he should be much safer on that hero. You never know what he's up to, but he has several healing tools or defensive tools at his disposal now, right? The healing static later on, the avatar, the dwarf toss. So even if he goes in quite aggressively, there should be enough saving tools to keep him alive. So that was something that he kind of lacked last time, with the Alex Strasser being a little bit too slow for him last time.
Yeah.
I like the draft by KT. I'm going to be honest with you, Tetra. I think they have a lot of inbuilt synergy and good protection nonetheless.
Li Ming, by the way. My
True.
prediction.
Lunar. What?
No, double support. All right. So my logic for Li Ming was they need something extra burst damage to follow up on Diablo, because that's what you want with Diablo when you're against Decade Kate. You want to blow people up. Li Ming is a pretty good hero for that. Guess who's also a good hero for burst damage? Karazim. And it gives them the double support, which means they can just protect Hanzo against, well, pretty much anything. It's going to give Genji a really rough day.
Absolutely true. Their protection synergy potential is just through the roof right now. They have a Palm potentially, which is a little bit risky, especially if you have Alex Rasa heals who are very uncontrollable sometimes. You know, the Abundance can sometimes pop and boom, the Divine Palm doesn't go off. And also there's a Muradin as a solo tank who would be a splendid target for the 7-sided strike, right? If he goes in aggressively, he absorbs all 7 kicks and he's going to get popped. So, Tetcher, which draft do you like more?
It is. I have so many concerns about the Decade Kane. I think with that Kara team, I think they have easily enough burst follow-up to blow up pretty much anyone they engage upon except Muradin. Maybe Thrall will survive, but overall, I think I'm feeling pretty good about the SPT draft.
Okay, I'm leaning towards KT. While I don't say that SPT's draft is bad by any means, they certainly have a lot of strong tools at their disposal. I think KT has what it takes to crack the defenses here. They were so close in game number 1 several times to really gain huge benefits of these team fights. Maybe if they play a little better this time, they're going to make it work, but we're going to dive into the action, guys. SPT versus KT. Game number 2. Is it going to be a tie? Will every team walk away with 1 point, or is it going to be a 2-0 in favor of SPT? And we're going to introduce SPT once again with Lucky on that Hanzo. Melody C is playing Karzin this time. Misak on the Dibbles once again. Soap is playing the Blaze and ZZH on the support on Alex.
And on the right-hand side, it is Kudos top KT with Hope playing on the Phoenix, Timeless on Muradin, TWT on the Decade Kane, Hikari on the Thrall, and Hape is once again on that Genji.
Oh, we just noticed that Hikari, I remember that face. He changed his name again.
Who is it? I didn't see.
Lycia.
Oh, God.
Changing his name every single phase.
Just maximum irritation for the casters. Either way, Melody C is rumbled. Unable to get just hide in this bush for too long. Hape attempting to mirror the play here. We'll actually see Melody C. They can try and go for a really early kill here. There's no one to dash to. He's got nowhere to go. Is Hape gonna chase?
Oh,
Hape's
he's gonna chase.
That's first blood. Oh, get juked! But no, goes down. Cool
Nice
idea.
try.
Really cool idea.
Yeah.
But gets taken out. Unfortunately, Hape used both his abilities to get that kill, so he's stuck in there for a while before it comes off cooldown. There we go. Finally escapes.
Yeah, he went for the agile dismount again, so the cooldown on his cyber agility was lowered by default here. But really cute move by Melody C. As a fellow Genji main, he knows exactly what that hero is capable of, so he tried to mind play, but unfortunately his health was already too low to actually escape there. So nice try, didn't work out though. But usually those early kills, they don't make that much of a difference in the first place.
Well, XP still XP, as we see everyone rotating back down to lanes finally. A tiny bit of gate damage was done by both teams. Actually, a little bit of tower damage as well. Maximum value from Hope there, using that extra Phoenix range earlier on. Now they're starting on the mercenary camp, already dropping it low as Deckard begins to fill out the bar tap as they begin to move in. Melody C being forced back. Misaka is going very aggressive. Timeless gets rooted here as Misaka's being forced to back up.
There goes one.
And down goes the kill onto Hanzo, thanks to Hape.
Yeah, you can really see the value of Deckard Cain in those moments, right? You basically drop preemptive potions, and that's something you should do when you play Deckard Cain all the time. Preemptive potions, you gotta drop them, and the enemies, the allies are gonna use them, and it's wonderful. It's really giving you so much value, and the Muradin actually, very tanky there as well, hitting a 4-man Thunderclap, also the 4-man Root by Deckard Cain. In those narrow choke points, they've just so many heroes which can really punish enemy teams' mispositioning.
Hape gets a vision arrow, added to him. But they begin piling on the pressure. They have a single impaler left. Gonna do a little bit of damage as the next objective begins to spawn. First objective, sorry. With the Fallen Shamans beginning to be taken by both teams, but Timeless and Hape looking for another cheeky kill here, but they're a bit outnumbered.
Timeless, slow down. It's just the two of you.
They can make it if they try, but instead they're going to back up very sensibly. They could make it if they try, but they're also very likely to die, as we see Timeless able to dwarf toss away, but he ate a lot of damage. Second wind's going to have to pop here to resustain him.
The good thing about Muradin, of course, is they've got the second wind, and what that means, as long as Muradin has enough mana, he can stay in there, as long as he prevents damage from being done onto him. There we go. That was the reason why Misaka actually used that Shadow Charge. He wanted to interrupt the regeneration coming in from the second wind trade. Now, here goes the lockdown onto Dibbles. Takes a lot of damage. 50% done.
50% with the objective starting up, Hape being forced to retreat, and this is where SPT's draft comes into effect. They zone away the opponent's Immortal and then just let Hanzo win the Immortal. In this case, though, they actually set everyone up because they were able to zone out as Misaka getting focused down, doesn't have 100 souls, and healing via Alexstrasza is pretty good, though. He's able to back up.
Yeah, he's able to back up, and that was very crucial. Not only did they get the 50% done already, but they managed to survive this assault as a 5-man unit. Now, how is KT going to play this? Are they going to defend with 4, 5 maybe to get a pickup, or are they going to have someone damaging the Immortal on the flip side? Hikari actually trying to soak a little bit, trying to give them that level 6. Now, it's Timeless in trouble. Timeless needs to run away as fast as he can and pick up those potions.
Yep, shield potions as well for a little bit of extra burst protection as Misaka this time gets caught out. And KT, their Immortal race is terrible. We have to admit that. But that zoning was very effective. Nice little team fight, able to pick up another kill. 3 kills to 0 in favor of KT as Hikari takes the very, very long beginning of the Immortal race.
And I like what KT is doing. They're not fully committing to this defense. They're sending some people back to heal and get mana, especially the support, especially Deckard Cain. I cannot stress enough how important that is. But of course, he needs to be back in time because they can't defend this until the end of time. Actually, Timeless getting chunked down. Here's Hape again. Here's Hope as well. And TWT trying to keep everybody sustained. But I think SPT is determined and they want to get this. One Thrall is not enough to secure it eventually.
Yeah, like we said, the Immortal race is just non-existent from KT, but they can certainly get kills. As Soap is dropped low. Arsenal synergy. Pew! Down he goes. Timeless able to survive the charge as well. Never mind, Melody C coming in from behind and is able to punch down the Muradin.
That is the power, man, of a Karasim. He ain't no special, he ain't no ordinary second support. He is a melee bruiser if the team requires him to be one. And that was certainly one of those golden moments in which Melody C smelled the opening and he went in, popped Muradin, and all of a sudden this defense coming in from KT is looking a lot weaker. Also in the bottom lane, we see Thrall trying to soak, trying to get that experience in. So does Blaze, though. So both teams with pretty much perfect positional play.
Hope getting dived on, but a quick stun up by Muradin to protect it. Melody C going very deep, being forced to back up. Abundance value, though, as they heal through, and this Immortal will allow them to get this fort as Genji gets taken out.
They're starting to lose too many heroes, KT, that is. While they're not really far behind in terms of experience yet, only quote-unquote a level, they're still having these occasional losses, and it really breaks their rhythm, I feel. It really causes them to have staggered deaths. Sometimes it's the tank who's missing, sometimes it's the Genji now. They really need to find the kills themselves, I feel like. So maybe the Muradin assault here, the Muradin gank is going to work out. The root is good. Kari putting on the heat.
Taking their time, being very patient.
It takes too long, man. It takes too long.
Yeah, well, they found Misaka instead, so they're going to try and kill him. As they move in here, Hope is on the way. Hikari comes up as well.
Turn around, maybe?
Blade is too good.
Yeah, for a moment it looked like Timeless was getting reinitiated upon from the soap, from the Blaze. Look at that. Look at the CC, man. It's so strong by Decker Kane. He didn't even... Oh, he actually took Sapphire. I was going to say. So if you activate Sapphire as your gem, you're going to make your next cube slow for a much more significant amount. He also took the Emerald, though, at level 7.
Yes, the Emerald, basically all cube builds so far, other than, of course, the heals. But yeah, the Sapphire for the extra Heraldric cube slows, and the Emerald for the cube anti-heal. Gotta time it well, though.
Oh my
goodness.
goodness.
Timeless. Nice little stun combo there. Hape is going very deep, as LDC drops a little bit of pressure onto him as well.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you can blame Timeless for this one. He was trying to defend, but some of the members, some of his teammates reached the fort a little too slowly, and then we just had perfect stun coordination on the side of SPT. There was no way for him to get out of this alive. At level 10, it might have been a different story with the Avatar, but level 10 still needs to be reached for KT in the first place.
Anti-heal is down, not really getting much use here as actually just drops the abundance after it expires. But level 10 is available for SPT, still quite a bit away for KT, as Timeless gets CC'd. Enough to dissuade him from moving on to the objective, but not enough to do much damage. Heroics-wise, Lightning Breath Bunker, question mark.
Look at...
both pretty fine here.
Yeah. Look at Melody C, by the way, not showing his heroic ability just yet. He wants to leave his opponents in the dark for now, whether it's going to be the saving play with a Divine Palm or the aggressive 7-sided against a single Muradin. I think he's probably going to wait until Muradin's heroic ability has been locked in as well, because against an Avatar, the 7-sided gets even more numbers value.
Yeah, this is true. So being able to react there is pretty good. And if not, the Palm could be great against any of the potential burst tools that KT do run. It might just be a quick pick, where if he sees someone about to die, you can just quick pick Palm, or if they go for a burst, they can just quick pick 7-sided. In theory, the best move. Oh. Dragon Arrow finds Thrall. Thrall finds death as Lightning Breath is down. Hikari finds potions, but Lucky's able to pick up the kill.
The level 10 was so close, he couldn't have used anything to save himself there. Thrall's heroic abilities can no longer be interrupted, right? Once you click it, you're going to get it. Even if you get stunned at the same time, the casting animation always goes through. So the Earthquake or the Sundering, depending on what he would have chosen, could have maybe delayed the death here. But it was just such good decision-making. Once again, another deadly arrow coming in from Lucky. One would also call it a lucky shot. It's just wonderful. It's really well done by SPT. They look really, really determined to make this a 2-0.
They need to see CC Chain Hope. Nope, he teleports out, and there's the kill onto Blaze as Hape wraps around. Sleeping time, Rude Awakenings. Melody C takes the huge damage here, being forced to dash as easy to get out as Misaka is targeted. 7-sided meets X-Strike, but down goes Melody C.
And it looks like the cast occurs is indeed a thing. We praised SPT's determination and how good they looked in this game. And guess what? Immediately after that, KT retaliates. But I think KT still took a heavy blow. They still lost the entire tower lane. They're still going to take damage on the keep. But look at this move.
It's so nice here. You can see the beautiful salvo immediately followed up. Earthquake's down for great damage. Karazim, I like the little double dash, but he has to drop the seven-sided to try and dodge the X-Strike, and by that point he'd already used all 3 charges, I believe. So he wasn't able to dash out to Alex Straza again, and as such, got taken out.
Yeah. Actually really cool to see how both invincible heroics were used to counter out each other, right? So Genji wouldn't take the 7-sided hits, and Karazim wouldn't take the X-Strike to the face, but still, of course, after he came from the 7-sided, there was not much health left, no more charges left, as Tetra said, no more Radiant dashes to safety. And all of a sudden, although SPT maintains a structural lead, quite a significant one actually, KT is not done fighting just yet. And already, Tetra, I can say that out of all the quote-unquote weaker teams, KT is looking the strongest by far.
I would agree. They're certainly looking good. A little bit better than in fact, a lot better than last season. I'm feeling really good about this team, as they still need to make it out of this game, though, with a 1-1 at maximum. Otherwise, going to get those 0 points as they move back. Can they crush the dreams of SPT of trying to move their way back up into that top position? As Hope takes a little bit of damage. Shields, once again, from Deckard Kame, really helping out here. They just trade out a little bit of damage. In the meantime, Thrall is split-soaking, looking for their level 13 and to clear up that mercenary cap.
Yeah, really smart call there for sure. 13 needs to be achieved. Now, Thrall needs to be warned. He needs to be alert, probably by his teammates in the comms already, that SPT is making their move up to the top lane. Now, all heroic abilities are ready, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. So we do have the Wombo combo again, as Tetra said, the Rude Awakening, maybe even with an Earthquake on top for extra damage. Here goes the peeling CC by Deckard Kane. When is Timeless going to make a move?
Oh, well, it looks like he's going to have to be quick if Hope wants to live. Hope gets out. The sleep is good. Purification's a little late, but the Earthquake's still down for the damage. They climb it too early, actually, the bunker, meaning that Lucky is able to survive. Now Misaka's getting chased down by Hate, looking for another kill. They get blazed, though. There's the punches from Karazim trying to focus him down. The good disengage with the Dragon Queen trying to focus onto anyone here. It's a lovely choke point for Alex Straza to try and get maximum damage out, but with Hanzo not here and still super low, they're in so much trouble. Misaka now, but Hate gets finished
No way! They basically fought through the entire Dragon Queen, and now, only now, are team members going to fall here. With any other support other than Alex Ross, I think KT would have gotten a kill a long time ago, but they're not done fighting just yet.
Oh, Misaka's gone very deep. Deckard's in trouble, forced back, and they're able to disengage. But that was a scrappy fight, Kendrick, from start to finish.
My goody goodness, from start to finish, this fight seemed to take forever. Double support, of course, very good at keeping people alive, but KT was so close to taking kills. Now they're trying again here. Look at that teleportation over the wall by Phoenix, and they get Blaze. They weren't actually counting in the low death timers.
The Dragon Arrow was good, but Diablo not able to tank through. Also, just burned Lightning Breath. Lucky is down. Hate picks up the kill. Hate leaves, and that is nicely done by KT. 10 kills to 5, and with that, Diablo's alive. It might be a bit of a fight, but they're probably going to get the objective.
Yeah. It takes them a little while because, as we said, their racing potential is not the strongest. Now we have Phoenix, though, attacking pretty fast. We have Genji and Thrall's auto attack damage adding a little bit. Look at that, by the way. These past 2 team fights, they lasted so long that all the heroic abilities are already back in cooldown. So that's pretty crazy. They're going to have it for the push as well. But SPT, are they trying to make something happen without Hanzo?
Looks like maybe. Melody C going very deep. Misaka coming in. They're just trying to delay. Soap has returned. The sleep is good, but there's the stun does not land with the Hikari. Bunker is down. Now they're just looking for kills as the objective is already down. Trying to focus onto Timeless, but Dwarf Toss and Earthquake, too good. Completely denying the chase.
Absolutely insane. I'm very impressed by KT. If they had lost a member or two, their push would have basically been come to an halt, right? So now they have full force. The only thing they had to use was the Earthquake, but that's going to be a-okay for now. But already they had to go back and heal. Precious seconds are being lost here. So much damage already dealt onto the Shields of the Immortal. I'm not even sure, Tetra, if it's going to get the fort after all.
I think it'll get the 4. Their pressure to force back SPT is pretty good, especially with Hate just leaping around like an athlete.
There we go.
But yeah, the fort will absolutely go down as SPT are forced back, not wanting to take the risk, because 16 is too close for KT.
Yeah, good point. With the talent lead, of course, it would have been foolish for SPT to to try and fight this. They still need to have level themselves. Can they do
Blaze, though? Blaze, though, he's pushed all the way up the keep. And Hikari will be able to clear this, but that's a lot of damage. They actually got more damage on the keep than SPT did. No, he's gone. He's out.
Oh, man. I think he made a good call there, but maybe if he had fully committed to it with a bunker play, you know, trying to juke Thrall and dodge it here and there, maybe he could have died, but he wouldn't have certainly died. Absolutely true. But I think although they lost the Immortal, they ended up getting more structural damage done, once again, than KT. Simply due to smart macro play.
Yeah, agreed. So, by the way, we're seeing here at level 13 and 16 for Thrall, Frostwolf's Grace, aka the activated heal and the armor, which is good for the burst, but Alpha Wolf also, no Thunderstorm. Going for that extra percentage damage for Thrall here. Great against Diablo. Speaking against Diablo, he gets rooted here. Here comes the Lightning Breath, but they're already gone. Dragon Arrow, though, preventing or slowing down the escape here. Hikari getting focused down, drops the Earthquake here as they push forward past the bunker. Here comes the salvo. Oh, that was so close. Never mind, it's not close at all. They've wiped them here, getting through 2 members, 3 members, and now they're moving on to the keep as Timeless is just going to tank this fort.
KT on a warpath. They're just marching through this. The salvo immediately vaporizing the enemy team here. That was amazing. Did you see those health bars drop? It was crazy, especially since the Earthquake had already been used so early. It was just additional slowing provided by Deckard and Murden, I believe. So that was just clean execution. We're going to take another look at that.
So what were the slows? So there's the triangles. There's the scroll of ceiling, Dragon Arrow. How long are they going to show this? Because I want to see the
Earthquake. Here we go.
Not the Earthquake. That's the initial slow. But the slow expires here. And it was cubes.
My goodness.
Cubes and an X-Strike to follow up on it as well. Nicely done, KT. Lovely fight.
Oh my goodness. The question is, KT has looked good in many of those team fights, but so far they weren't able to make something out of it. So far it has always been SPT who somehow, some way managed to maybe sneak a little bit of damage onto the keep or just win the objective after all, but now this is a really good position for KT. There's no way SPT can invade, or are they going to try to do it? Hisaka getting in for a flank.
Soap with a single stun. Lucky giving up on the race because the fight has to happen. The salvo is interrupted. Dragon Arrow comes out. Hopes to be able to teleport away though as they move in with the Dragon and the Scatter Arrow. TWT is dropped super low as Medici looking to chase, but the slow for the Earthquake's too good. He gets taken out as they look for more. Misaka onto Hikari, tried to body block him. They have to pull back because the sleep lands onto Blaze as the focus onto Axtraz. X-Strike, easy peasy as Lucky will look for Hape there. Misaka will pick it up, but now it's just the tanks versus the tank, the solo laner, and the support, and that just leaves Blaze.
Wow. I don't know what happened there to Melody C, but he was going in so aggressively and wasn't able to use the 7-sided strike tetcher. Something must have interrupted him, maybe a stun. I don't really know what happened there, but if he hadn't died there, his team could have fought with him alongside in a 5 versus 5 a much longer. As it is, though, KT securing the Immortal, the Mercenary camp at the top lane, the Bruisers already pounding on those buildings, and this is going to be a potentially game-ending push tetcher. KT, can they do it? Can they tie it out 1-1?
Incinerator Gauntlet's pretty valuable there, allowing Blaze to clean up that camp, and this will allow him to rotate down and join his team for this 5-man defense. Hanzo and Diablo will be back shortly, and this is going to be a full commitment here. Melody C, now is not the time to die. Getting CC galore, 7-sided coming out to keep himself alive here. Moving forward, as they might try to dive past. Melody C stunned out again, bunker for the save, moving back to his base. It comes the salvo, little bit of damage, not as much as last time.
Yeah, good damage prevention here from the bunker this time around. The double support really kicked in. The fountain was still available to most of those players on the side of SPT as well. Well, I'm not sure if they can defend this keep. I don't think they're going to lose the game right here.
The dragon is down. The cube is down. The dash is down. X-Strike is down. And SPT are down as KT push in with the Immortal, with the full 5-man. That is gonna be GG. And KT take game number 2, even up the score, and secure themselves 1 point.
The Caster Curse is real. They took this game super easy with 1 good Emerald, destroying the healing, -75. Timeless and his boys, they did it. they managed to get a tie against one of the strongest teams in the league. Wonderfully done. The first upset in HGC China 2018 second half. We are already here, Tetcher.
Nicely done. And I was really feeling the Karazim there, but it was so risky. That damage output, especially trying to dive at the end there, just eating the Muradin stuns, did not work out in their favor. But KT, really nicely played. Very aggressive, very team fight heavy, but very well executed repeatedly. And
it really looks like this Thrall-Phoenix combo could be something we see a little more often, because that literally just turned on the heat there. The Phoenix damage was insanity. But also, I think it's worth mentioning that, first of all, Timeless on that Muradin looked way safer because, you know, Muradin is a safer character than Garrosh in terms of positioning and self-healing. And also, that Decker Kane put in work, man. I mean, strong Emeralds there time and time again, minus 75 healing. And then also you had really good combo potential there with the Stay a While and Listen. The heals were good. The CC was even better. I like it.
I liked it as well. Very, very impressed by KT there. SPT still looking a little shaky. I was also wrong about the Deckard. I expected SPT to play it very much more aggressively with their style, and I thought the Karazim was good for that. But it turns out their aggression was shut down quite a lot by just the repeated disengages. Really nice work by Timeless. I felt way better about him in this game.
True.
His Thunderclaps especially were super solid at just zoning and consistently slowing the enemies as they tried to push forward. I felt really good. The team worked really well together. It wasn't really... all the weak points were covered by the other heroes.
And you mentioned weak points or weak links in the team. Unusual misplays by Melody C, I gotta say. In my opinion, one of the strongest players mechanically in HGC China. He had a couple of missteps there on the Karazim, not using 7-sided in time, going in a little too aggressively, dying early on in that 1 versus 2. I'm not so sure if the Karazim was the rewarding pick for them, but also Misako on the Dibbles. We've seen stronger performances by him, but we also got to give it to KT, man. They countered that Diablo, especially with the Genji in game 1, and later on, of course, with all the damage they had available. Whew, man, KT, they might quickly become my new favorite team.
They're looking good. I'm pretty sure I have a KT spray still, which makes me happy, but if they is the logo up to date? I'm pretty sure that is the up to date logo that
for
is
KT.